Okay, here we are in Bforartists. Here is the blank canvas that we're going to be working in, and I'm using my right key, mouse key, to rotate. And when you first come into Bforartists, you have the camera and a light. So those are default objects, and we're going to go over here to the this is where everything's kept. All right, your collections, all your objects, and you're gonna find them here. And so we're gonna turn these off for now because we don't need them yet. So I'm going to turn them off. They're not going anywhere. They're just made invisible. There we are. All right, so we're gonna start out with a rectangle. And as you can see up here near the main menu, you have this toolbar here, and you see here all the primitives that you're going to need. They're right in front of you, nice and click. And if you notice, you have all the rest of your tools here. And so that's what I love about this. They're in your face, or if you don't want them to be, you can turn them off. So I'm going to create a rectangle, okay? And I'm going to make it so that it is level with the grid. Right here is where you see all of the different perspectives you can have. You have your front and the back and the right and the left and the top and the bottom. So we're going to just go to the front and increase the size of our rectangle. I'm sorry, not rectangle, cylinder. I kept calling it rectangle. It is a cylinder, folks. Yes, I know my shapes. Okay, so this is a cylinder. So we're going to increase the size of it, and I'm going to get out of that view by simply holding down my right button and rotating, and dragging, and that's how you get out of the view. Nothing special. So I'm going to make this a little wider, but as you can see, I changed to my scaling tool here. Okay, so you have your scale tool, have your move tool, you have your rotate tool, and you have your transform. This is the cursor tool. We're not going to use that, and this is your tweak tool. So we're not going to mess with these guys here yet. And so as you can see, you can enlarge it via a specific axis, but we want it to be symmetrical. So I'm going to Control Z and get out of there. So I'm going to just click and drag within this primary circle here. And that's good. Let's do that. Okay, so now I'm going to decrease the size. And I'm constantly moving around when I'm doing this stuff. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so let's make sure we're still level. There's other ways to do this, but I'm just going direct right now, so you guys can get used to the tools. Okay, so I'm going to rotate back. All right, so now we're in object mode right now. That's why you see this orange outline. And so all I can do is affect my object, pick it up, move it around. Okay, so right now I'm going to put it in my edit mode. All right, so I'm going to click here, and as you can see, there's object mode, edit mode, sculpt mode. Oh boy, I'm gonna have fun with that. Vertex mode, so that's like 3D painting, which is so cool. Weight painting, I like weight painting, but we'll deal with that later. Texture painting, this is another type of painting. So you have here quick keys too. So you can just hit these keys and you'll go to these modes automatically. I'm going to stick with directly accessing certain modes and tools just for the sake of getting everyone accustomed to where everything is. So there's the edit mode. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is extrude the interior. All right, so I'm going to deselect. Okay, so I just chose my move tool and deselect just click anywhere and I deselected it. So now I want to select just this shape, this polygon on the top here. All right. So your move tool can select different parts of your image. So you have your edge and you have the polygons here. Hold on, let's, instead of telling you about it, let me show you. So you can tell the tool what to select. So you constrain that here. So you have your selection mode here, okay? So this is your vertex selection mode, or you have your edge selection mode, and then you have your face selection mode, okay? So a polygon is actually the face and the edge and the face, the edge, and the vertex all together. So that creates a polygon. So we want to just select just a face, okay? So I'm going to select just the face, and I'm going to use the inset tool. These tools are really cool. Here's your extrude tool. You're going to use a lot of that, and your inset tool, your bevel tool, and the loop tool. We're going to use most of these. So we won't bother with these yet because these are pretty awesome too. So I'm going to go here and use the inset tool, and I just clicked on it. Now I could click and drag and make this and change the size of the inset. And what it's going to do is create a shape with a face within a face. Okay. So I'm going to go to thickness and just drag it. And as you can see, my shape starts to form. All right. And I'm doing this to create the inside, but I'm also creating an edge too. So, and create thickness to the shape. That'll do right there. Let's see what I do. Yeah. Okay, let's do a little more. And right there. I want to make a thick mug. Thick mug. Okay, so now I'm going to grab my extrusion tool and zoom in a little bit. And then I'm going to go down and I'm going to let go. And then I'm going to click again and it creates another shape. Okay, and I'm going to go down one more time. And then there we go. All right. So, okay, so now we have the interior of the cup. All right, so now we need to cut some lines in here. We need some more edges in here, I should say. We need some more edges. So I'm going to go, because we're about to make the handle. And the handle's actually the hardest part of doing a coffee cup. So I'm going to create the handle here using the loop cut tool, okay? And so as you can see, when I roll over, once I have the loop cut selected, when I roll over the object, you can actually see the cut. So I'm going to click and drag the loop cut where I want the top of the handle to be. So let's go right here. So then another loop cut appears. I'm going to click and drag, put it down here, right there. Okay, that's pretty good. So now another loop cut. I want the top of the handle to be a little thicker than the bottom. So I'm going to make this a little wider here and then here. Now I'm eyeballing this, but you don't have to because you can do it numerically as well. But I'm just showing you the physical, hands-on way to do it. So then I'm going to go right here. Okay. How's that? That's pretty good. Let's bring that up a little bit. So I changed to my move to bring it up a little bit. Pull it up. Yeah, that's good. Okay. So there you go. So now I'm going to create the handle. So I have my move tool here. I'm going to select the face. Oops. Gotta go up here, all right, and tell the tool, I just want you to select faces. Select the face, hold down my shift key, select another face, select another face, select another face. If you notice, I held down my shift key to select more than one face at a time, just like you would in Illustrator, Photoshop, InDesign, uh, Affinity, Affinity Designer, whatever 2D program. You use the shift key to select more than one object. Same thing in 3D. A lot of those rules, a lot of those techniques apply to the 3D world. So now we're going to use the extrusion tool. Extrusion tool is really fun. So here's the extrusion tool. And also look here. So you have a key command. The shortcut key is S. Okay. But I just went straight to the tool. Okay. So I'm going to click and drag. All right. And now I'm going to click and drag again to create another section. And I'm going to click and drag again to create the thickness of the outside of the handle. Okay. And let's look at that. That looks pretty good. Yeah. I'm going to pull it out just a little bit more because I'm picky that way. Okay. That's good. Okay. All right. So that may be a little bit too thick, but I'd rather have too much than too little. All right. So now I'm going to connect these two together. All right. And that's going to give me my handle. So this is a cool thing to do. So I'm going to, I have my move tool. So I'm going to click that face and I'm going to click that face. And I'm going to go down again. Remember, I'm using my mouse to navigate. See this? All of this is my wheel, rolling my wheel. I'm pressing my wheel to move right, left, up, down. I'm rolling my wheel to zoom in and out. And my right button is used to rotate. Okay, remember that. It's mouse navigating, and B4 is mouse centric. It's pretty cool. So I'm going to click these two faces. All right, I held down my shift key and I clicked these two faces and they're all clicked. They're all selected, I should say. So now I'm going to bridge them together. So I'm going to right click my right mouse button twice. That's going to give me this floating menu. There you go. Bridge faces. Okay, you click that, bam, they are connected. Now, I need sections in here because right now it's just one shape, all right, but it's merged, okay? So I'm going to add more sections in there. So let's see, okay, number of cuts. Let's put 3. Well, let me click and drag it just to show you, okay? So I'm going to click and drag, and as you can see all those sections moving around in there, okay? I don't want all that. That's messy. So I'm going to just have 3. There we go. All right. So I'm just going to use 3. And I'm going to go back to my move tool. Wow, I'm still in my move tool. And then that's cool. So now let's look at it. Let's go back into object mode and check it out. See what it looks like. Okay. Starting to look like a coffee cup. All right. But it looks more like it's in a really low bit computer game right now. So we need to put some curves on this baby. So I'm going to put it on edit mode and I'm going to select the whole cup. All you have to do is hit your A and you select the whole cup. So I'm going to go and I'm going to use a modifier. Oh, it's already in modifier. So I'm going to click modifier, and the modifiers are all of these very graphic icons here, and iconology serves a big purpose in B4 when the guys design the interface. So it's easy to use. So I'm going to just go down here and I'm going to go to subdivision surfaces, okay, or surface. And as you can see, it gets soft. The hard corners are gone. So I'm going to add more subdivisions in there. Let's go with 3. Let's go with 4. All right. So let's be aggressive with it. So we're going to go with 4, and I'm going to I'm going to change the cage. Right now, you see a cage around it, and then you see the smooth edges, right? So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to merge the cage with. This is non-destructive, by the way. This is not permanent, okay? So unless you want it to be. See this check button here? That check, that makes the modifier permanent, okay? So I'm going to, let's see, did I do that right? Let's see, that one there, and modifier, okay. So now I'm going to merge the cage with the actual mesh, all right? So, because the cage is really handy sometimes, but sometimes it gets in my way and it's irritating. So I can do without it right now. So right now we have the cup is starting to look more like a cup. See that? Very nice, very nice. Okay, so let's add a few more things to it. Okay, you see how the grip here is kind of close to the bottom, and you got some stretch marks here. All right, so we're going to get rid of that. So we're going to use the inset tool for that. So let's make sure we're on the face selection mode. So there we go. And now I'm going to use the inset tool again. Well, you know what? Actually, I'm going to extrude this because I want the bottom to come out more. So I'm going to extrude it. There we go. And as you can see, I made the cup a little taller. That's okay. But I got what I wanted there. See, more separation between the bottom and the handle. Okay, that's cool. So now I'm going to use the inset tool, and I'm going to create a shape within a shape. Got the yeah, it's inset tool. So there we go. So now I'm going to adjust the thickness just like I did before. There, you see those stretch marks are going away. There we go. And it's a more of a clean surface. I'm gonna put another face in there just to give it a little more cleanliness. Make it nice and neat and tidy so it's not kind of messed up. So, okay, great. So we got a weird looking cup here. Okay, so now we're gonna start cleaning things up. So now we're gonna mold it. We're gonna mold it and give it a little bit more. It's starting to look more like a beer mug actually. um, that's okay. So let's start molding. Let's do the top. All right. No, you know what? Let's do the inside. So the inside needs some work, just like the bottom. So I'm going to inset the inside. There we are. Okay. And I'm going to decrease the size. There we are. And those stretch marks are gone. There we are. There's actually a name for that when that effect appears, but we'll deal with that later. There's no need to get overly techie with this. I just want you to know how to make a cup and how to use the tools. Remember what I said. I teach as an artist who uses tech to create art. So that's my thing. So you can learn all the technical stuff later at your leisure, and I'm going to get into more technical stuff anyway later because, hey, I like it. So let's go into the object mode and see what the cup looks like. Okay, that's looking pretty good. All right, let's move it up. There we go. Oops. All right, I dropped it. Didn't break. We'll deal with that later. So I did it again. All right. That's what happens when you push two buttons at a time. Okay. Let's go front view. There we go. Multiple views work well. And of course, you can have more than one view at the same time. But for purposes of this tutorial, I want to keep it really simple. So I'm going to just do it that way. All right. So we have this, what's shaping up to be a beer mug. Sure, why not? So the inside looks really clean. Okay. And now we're going to deal with the edge here. Because if you notice, the edge is kind of, I don't know, it needs a little more dimension here. So we're going to use an inset for that. So, and actually, no, not an inset. I'm sorry, a loop cut. So I'm going to go back to the edit mode. There we are. And I'm going to use the inset tool there. I mean, loop tool, loop cut tool. I keep going inset. And there we are. So we got a loop cut. So we're going to grab the loop cut and then do another one and then pull it up. There we are. We're going to pull it up. There. And that's going to give the top more dimension. So now I'm going in the inside and do the same thing. There we are. And that gives that top more dimension. Okay. There we are. And then let's look at that and see what that looks like. Let's go back to the object mode. Haha, that looks much better. Okay, sweet. All right, so now I'm going to, let's leave that alone and let's go to the handle right now. I mean, I could work on just little teeny parts all day long, but I'm trying not to make this tutorial a feature film. So let's go back to the edit mode, and now we're going to work on the handle. We're going to shape the handle a little bit. So the way we're going to do that, I'm going to have to select different parts of it. And so I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go to this display mode here. That's the wireframe. And I'm trying to show you guys the tooltips instead of just listening to me talk, so you can get accustomed to using the tooltips. It's basically like a mobile instruction book. So we're gonna go with the wireframe so we can see the different edges through each other. Okay. Oh, and look at this. Oh, that's not good. See the bottom here? See, the wireframe comes in handy. That's just sloppy. Look at that. Nah, we got to fix that. All right, so we're gonna hold off on the handle for a minute. So now we need to select the bottom here so that we can pull it down and it won't be so shallow. So what I'm going to do is go back to the solid shader mode, viewing mode, and then I'm going to have my proper mode of selection selected, which is my faces. So then I'm going to click and drag my marquee. Oops. Right here. There we go. All right. So now I have the faces selected. And now I'm going to pull them down. There we go. All the way down to where they belong. All right. So let's make sure I got them in the right spot. Yeah, that's good. So now I'm going to increase the size a little bit. So we're going to go to scale and we're going to go inside the large circle here so that I can increase the size. There we go. Okay, that looks weird, but that'll do. All right, so we're going to close it back here, and it actually looks good there. It just looks weird in the wireframe, but hey, it looks good there. So actually I could, yeah, that's good. Okay. All right, so let's move on to the handle. Like I said, I can work on details for hours. So I'm going to work on the handle now. So let's go back to the move tool and let's see, we're going to go back to the wireframe, and first of all, let's make this part curved. So we're going to go here and select, nope, I don't like that. Let's do this here. And let's choose some edges instead. Yeah, that'll work. So now I'm going to use my move tool. I'm going to pull it out a little bit. Okay. Nah, I have too many selected. So I'm going to go here and select just there. Good. So now I'm going to move it. There we go. Perfect. All right, that'll work. You see how that worked? So I selected less, and then all the rest of the faces reacted according to how I was pulling it out. See that? So I'm going to just pull it there. That will do just nicely. So now I want to make this part of the handle. So I'm going to just select that corner. And then when you're in wireframe, when you select, say, I want to just select this corner, then it will automatically select the stuff on the other side too, the corners on the other side too. So I'm going to increase that there to give it some shape. Okay, there we are. That's cool. So then I want this part here to be a little thicker. Again, details. All right, that's the way I roll. So let's have patience with me. So that's pretty cool since it's more like a beer mug now. I was going for a coffee cup. Hey, this will work. All right, so I'm going to go here and do the same thing I did to the top, only not as dramatic. I kind of have an idea in my head. It's kind of, developing as I go. So there we are. So now I'm going to pull that part down there like that. That'll work. And then I want this whole part here to go up a little. Let me go just here. Yeah. And like that. I'm going to rotate it a little. So I'm going to go to my rotate tool. And then I'm going to hold down my shift key to constrain my axis. So I'm going to just rotate on just this one axis like that. And how's that look? Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to my move tool. All right, let's see what it looks like in a solid view. Okay, that's pretty good. It's kind of big. It is a beer mug, so all right, let's move it in a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna move it in a little bit. So I'm gonna go back to my wireframe so I can select everything I want to select. All right, no, I don't want to go that far. Let's go this far. Yeah, that's good. So then I'm gonna move it in just a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay. Okay, that'll work. So, you can get as detailed as you want, as you can see. So that's pretty good. Okay. And I want this part to be a little thicker. So, all right. And then I'm going to leave it alone. All right. I'm going to leave it alone after this. Okay. So I'm going to go to, select my faces. And I'm going to select that face, hold down my shift key, select that face, and I'm going to go over here. Go over here. And I'm going to hold down my shift key, select that face, Again, there's other ways to select things. I'm just being direct right now. We could do the other stuff later. So I'm going to move it in. Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. So I'm going to move it in. And I'm going to rotate it. Hold down my shift key to constrain my axis of rotation. Like that. No, that's weird. Like that. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Yep, that's good. So let's see what it looks like in object mode. Alrighty. That looks pretty good. That looks kind of weird. Hold on. So now I kind of took that part out that I just did, and I'm going to make it. Hold on, let me try something here. Undo. Yeah, that's good. All right, so let's select that face again because I undid my selection. And then I I undid that curved part, that slanted part. When I rotated it, because it looked kind of weird. So I'm going to just make it a little thicker. Yeah, that's better. I tried to get fancy. So I'm going to take this part here and select that. I'm going to pull this out a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that's nice. So now that I made this one thicker, this part thicker, and I pulled this part out, now the hand, the part where you put your hand is kind of small. So when I make objects, I like to make it so that it looks like it works in the real world. It's believable. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'm gonna pull this out just a little bit. You go back and forth, back and forth. So that's part of the design. So I'm going to go back to my, yep, that's a beer mug. Okay. All right. So now we're going to put some color to it. Okay. So you got the beer mug. Looks great. Looks awesome. Okay. Looks like you're going to hold some beer. And we'll put some beer in it on another tutorial. So now I'm going to, well, it's got some of those stretch marks in there. Okay. I just want to take care of that. Okay. Bear with me. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to put another inset in there and put another inset. Okay. And let's go to object mode, see what that looks like. Yep, that did it. All right, that'll work. Okay, I'm going to leave it alone. All right, so now we're going to put some color to it.